and he's going to be talking and sharing from his experience on this topic. I know this topic is going to be valuable to you, and you're going to learn so many lessons, right? So yeah, I'm super excited. So don't go anywhere, because I also have so much more in store for you for today's episode. I have a special announcement I'm going to be making concerning the Nigeria Landlord Summit that is coming up on the 1st of November. Yes, a lot of people have been reaching out and asking questions about the summit, what to expect, what are the benefits of attending the summit, and what it is, what would they learn, what do they stand to gain from the summit. So I'm going to be announcing all of that on today's episode, why you should attend the summit and how you can take advantage of this very, very important event that is coming up. All right, so stay tuned. Don't touch that dial. When I come back, we'll dive right into today's topic.
Lagos, are you ready? The Nigeria Landlord Summit 2025 is here. Join us on Saturday, 1st November 2025 at the Golden Tulip Hotel, International Airport Road, for the biggest gathering of real estate minds in Nigeria. Come and discover how to profit from the booming housing demand in Nigeria. Explore funding and investment opportunities that work. Gain insights and government housing policies shaping the market. Experience the latest prop tech innovations transforming property ownership. Network with top developers, investors, and policymakers all in one room. Don't miss this power-packed event. Registration is 50,000 naira only, with full access to sections, exhibitions, with premium networking and refreshment. How to register? Make payment to VOPFM account number 112-416-8488. Again, 112-416-8488. Zenith Bank. Send your proof of payment via WhatsApp to 0707 115 4297 0707 115 4297. The Nigeria Landlord Summit 2025. Profitability in real estate management, prospects and opportunities. Your gateway to wealth through real estate. Powered by VOP 90.3 FM.
For real estate market insight and industry trends, join Amara on the Nigeria Landlord Show, where we show you how to make real estate work for you. For different investments, strategies from real estate experts on Nigeria Real Estates. Elevate your financial education and investment in Nigeria. So tune in every Saturday on VOP 90.3 from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. The Nigeria Landlord Show, the voice of real estate.
All right, welcome back to the Nigeria Landlord Show here on VOP 90.3 FM. I'm super excited. And today we're talking about a very insightful topic. Our topic today is on building a safer Lagos, the role of professionals in preventing illegal constructions. Building a safer Lagos, the role of professionals in preventing illegal constructions. And I have a guest who is joining me for this topic. His name is Mr. Mustafa Enwela, and he's an estate surveyor. He has been very vast in the real estate market. I'm just going to allow him to introduce himself. All right, Mustafa, welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us today. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Okay, yes. Hello, can you hear me now?
Hello.
Hi, good morning. Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us today. Yes, you there? Hello, can you hear me? Hello? Oh my God, I don't know why you can't hear me. Okay, please stay tuned, guys. We'll be right back. All right, today we're talking about building a safer Lagos, the role of professionals in preventing illegal constructions and avoiding building demolition.
Okay, hello.
Hello, Mr. Mustafa. Can you hear me? Hello? Okay, I think he's having a little bit of network issues here. So, hello, can you hear me now? Okay, so as I was saying, today our topic is on building a safer Lagos, the role of professionals in preventing illegal constructions and avoiding building demolitions. Now, as you know, in recent months, Lagos has witnessed a wave of building demolitions from high-rise structures in Lekki and Ikoyi to residential estates on the mainland, sparking debates across the real estate and construction industry. Why government agencies have cited illegal constructions, lack of approvals, and encroachment on setbacks as reasons, many property owners claim ignorance of victimization. This situation has raised a serious question: who should be held responsible? And more importantly, how can we prevent these demolitions from happening in the first place? So on today's show, we'll be examining the role of professionals, that is architects, engineers, estate surveyors, town planners, and developers in building a safer and more compliant Lagos. We will look at how proper documentation, regulatory compliance, and professional supervision can make the difference between a thriving property and one marked for demolition. Okay, and so with our guests, we're also going to analyze how the recent demolitions expose deep gaps in urban planning, land administration, and public awareness. From the shoreline of Lagos Island to the informal settlements in Ajawa Estate, one thing is clear: the cost of non-compliance is too high. So we'll be our guest is joining us and we'll be talking. I hope he can hear us now. Hello, Mustafa. Can you hear us now? Can you hear me? Hello? Oh, I don't know why you can't hear me. Oh my God, what's happening? Yes, can you hear me? Okay, I can hear you, but you can't hear me. I don't know why. Okay, so let me go ahead to talk about our program that's happening, why we try to rectify this connection. Okay, please don't touch that dial. We'll be right back.
Lagos, are you ready? The Niger Landlord Summit 2025 is here. Join us on Saturday, 1st November 2025 at the Golden Tulip Hotel, International Airport Road for the biggest gathering of real estate minds in Nigeria. Come and discover how to profit from the booming housing demand in Nigeria. Explore funding and investment opportunities that work. Gain insights and government housing policies shaping the market. Experience the latest prop tech innovations transforming property ownership. Network with top developers, investors, and policymakers all in one room. Don't miss this power-packed event. Registration is 50,000 naira only, with full access to sections, exhibitions, with premium networking and refreshment. How to register? Make payment to VOPFM account number 112-416-8488. Again, 112-416-8488. Zenith Bank. Send your proof of payment via WhatsApp to 0707 115 4297 0707 115 4297. The Niger Landlord Summit 2025. Profitability in real estate management, prospects and opportunities. Your gateway to wealth through real estate. Powered by VOP 90.
Okay, welcome back to the Niger Landlord Show. Yes, we were having a little bit of internet problems, network connections, but I hope we've been able to rectify it. Yes, like I said, we have a guest, ESV Emwenla Mustafa, who is joining us on today's show. Hello, can you hear us now, Mustafa? Yes, because we can hear you loud and clear. Oh my God. Okay, I don't know what the issue is, but I just have to go ahead with the program. Okay, so we're going to be looking at the, like I said, building a safer Lagos, and Mustafa is one of the speakers at this event that is coming up, and that is why we're having him here talking about it. This topic is one of the topics that we're going to be talking about at the upcoming Niger Landlord Summit that is happening on November 1st, 2025, right? We can see that there's been a lot of misconception and a lot of misinformation in the industry, and we have seen that, innocent citizens, innocent residents are being the one at the brunt end of some of these harsh policies that is coming up in Lagos State. And we have seen some recent demolitions across the state, and people are excited as saying that they don't know where this government is going. They don't know how to be able to navigate some of these new policies and regulations that is coming up in the industry. And that is why we are having professionals like Mr. Emwenla Mustafa, who is going to be talking about the roles of professionals and how you can use these professionals to better protect yourself in the real estate market. You're able to avoid being a victim or avoid being on the other side of the law when it comes to your property investment or building a home for yourself here in this urban city of Lagos State, right? So yes, and like I said, I have some very juicy incentives and offers that we're going to be giving out at the event, and I will be talking about that much later. Yes, some very, very beautiful incentives that will be giving out at the event. For those of you who have reached out to me and saying, what do we stand to benefit from coming for this event, I'm going to be telling you all of that very soon. All right, so please don't touch the dial. Let's sort out this issue. I hope we're going to be able to do that, but if not, the show goes on. We'll still talk about and still give you some valuable insights on the real estate market here in Lagos. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Lagos, are you ready? The Niger Landlord Summit 2025 is here. Join us on Saturday, 1st November 2025 at the Golden Tulip Hotel, International Airport Road for the biggest gathering of real estate minds in Nigeria. Come and discover how to profit from the booming housing demand in Nigeria. Explore funding and investment opportunities that work. Gain insights and government housing policies shaping the market. Experience the latest prop tech innovations transforming property ownership. Network with top developers, investors, and policymakers all in one room. Don't miss this power-packed event. Registration is 50,000 naira only, with full access to sections, exhibitions, with premium networking and refreshment. How to register? Make payment to VOPFM account number 112-416-8488. Again, 112-416-8488. Zenith Bank. Send your proof of payment via WhatsApp to 0707 115 4297 0707 115 4297. The Niger Landlord Summit 2025. Profitability in real estate management, prospects and opportunities. Your gateway to wealth through real estate. Powered by VOP 90.
Okay, so welcome back to the Niger Landlord Show here on VOP 90.3 FM. I sincerely apologize for the network issues. I've been trying to connect with my guest, but I don't know what is happening. The network is not networking today. Okay, so like I said, the show goes on. So while we sort that out, while our engineers try to sort that out, let's just go ahead with today's episode. Okay, right. So I talked about the Niger Landlord Summit that is coming up here and in November 1st, and it's coming up at the Golden Tulip Hotel by Airport Road. Golden Tulip Hotel by Airport Road on the 1st of November by 10 a.m. Right. So yes. So Mustafa Elwanla is one of the speakers on our event, and he's going to be talking extensively on real estate industry and the role of the government in the real estate industry. Right. So yes, I hope we're able to sort out this issue. Welcome on board.
Yes, good morning.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, clearly, I can hear you clearly. Thank you for having me.
All right, I apologize for the network issue. I don't know. Sometimes technology.
Yes, I can totally understand how network glitches happen during virtual calls like this. So
Yes.
I think we're still good to go. Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay, so tell us a bit about yourself because people want to know, who you are, and being that you are our keynote speaker coming up at the Niger Landlord Summit event. People want to know what they get to hear when they come, to listen to you speak on that day. So just give us a brief summary of yourself and your professional background.
Okay, so my name is Estate Surveyor and Valuer Ewenla Mustafa. I'm a chartered estate surveyor and valuer with about 15 years work experience in the real estate industry. So of course you know who estate valuers are,
Yeah.
and I just very professional, and we know our onions when it comes to anything that has to do with real estate, based on what we were taught in school and based on our years of experience in the field. I'm a one-time Lagos State PRO for the Nigerian Institution of Estate Surveyors and Valuers. Incidentally, people who know me very well call me real estate doctor. I'm also a host of a real estate show on a sister radio station that has happened for over a decade. I'm also a public affairs analyst on TVC News. Quite a number of hands-on experience in the, I would say.
Okay.
So, yes.
Quite impressive. It's good to have you
Yes, thank
here.
you.
All right, so looking at our topic,
Thank you.
talking about building a safer Lagos, the role of professionals like yourself in preventing illegal constructions and avoiding building demolitions. We have seen the recent, demolitions that have happened across the states, and it has been quite unfortunate.
Absolutely.
It has been a heartbreaking
Very.
scene. So from your professional perspective, what do you think is driving the recent wave of building demolitions across Lagos?
So I think it's very essential that we go back to the root cause of the problems. Because what is very important for us as a people is to understand that real estate is an investment. And we must also understand that for everything we do in real estate, there are repercussions, whether positive repercussions or negative repercussions. So as much as people want to invest in real estate, people must understand that you don't just have the luxury of funds available and you just buy into real estate at anywhere without understanding that there are repercussions for any investment that you put your money into. In recent times, we have witnessed demolitions at Yanowuru. Recently, a few weeks ago, we witnessed demolitions at Oral View Estate in Lekki. So most of these demolitions that the government embark on is not to put real estate in a bad light. It is only to let people know that there are repercussions for these things, and real estate is not something you do without doing due diligence.
Yeah.
The people of were affected by the demolitions. A lot of stakeholders actually had a lot of concerns about these demolitions. And one of our concerns is also the kind of image we're giving to our potential investors from across the country. People who would love to come and invest in the viability of the real estate sector in Nigeria. So, but the government, of course, is the owner of all lands in the state. According to our Land Use Act of 1978, the Land Use Act has vested all lands in the state in the hands of the governor of the state. So that's why what the governor gives, buyers or people who buy into properties is what they call certificate of occupancy for a period of 99 years. So if you go ahead and purchase land in government acquired area and you think that 10 years down the line nothing will happen, 40 years down the line nothing will happen, eventually when government has the time, don't forget that the resources of the government limitless. It's not all the time government on demolition. It's not all the time they have all the luxury of time to embark on demolition, because this demolition also costs the governors, it also costs the governors or the government of the day a lot of money to embark on.
Yeah.
Yes, it is always a very sad moment. The people of Oral Estate build houses on canals. Oral Estate in Lekki built houses on canal.
Wow.
And we have seen the resultant effect of that, and that's why the whole of Lekki gets flooded when it rains. 1 hour constant rain in Lekki, the whole of Lekki is flooded. That's because people are the impunity in the real estate sector of the island is insane. People, developers who acquire properties from families and start to build, not knowing that those areas are not designated for constructions. How do you build houses on canals and expect that the government will not react as a matter of urgency when issues like flooding happen? So it's not rocket science, it is expected. So when government embark on these demolitions, people start to say all sorts and say that the government is not considerate, the government is heartless. No, it is about the total benefit of the generality of people. The flood that has happened in the part of Lekki in the past 1 month has been a total disaster. People cannot even sleep in their houses. People cannot even drive their cars. Cars break down. Luxury cars will break down highways. People wake up to floods in their bedrooms because of the negligence and the wicked attitude of us who build houses anywhere without any fear of understanding that there's a government who will come and check and ensure that you conform, and you're not building on canals, you're not building on drainages. So a lot of impunity, and I totally want to say that I sympathize with those affected. I also say that the government is doing a lot. And we must also support them. Nigeria work. It is not the government. The government has a role to play. The people too, the citizens have a lot of roles to play too. Okay. Because the government, we are the ones that elected the government officials there. So the issue of real estate and demolitions is a topical discussion. The issue of in a country where we have 220 million people and we have a housing deficit of about 17 to 18 million. We don't even have the correct statistics as of today. But we know that there is a deficit. People are homeless. The government is not doing so much to solve that deficit. Yeah. This current administration is talking about the Renewed Hope Estate, an estate that will build about 1,000 housing units all over the state in Nigeria. Mm-hmm. That's a laudable idea. With people like us are hoping that this project starts as a matter of time. The Lagos State Governor, in recent times, based on my information available to me, I know that this current administration has also done a lot of housing estates, fairly about 6,000 to 7,000 housing units in the last 4 years to thereabouts since they took office. So I know that it's a work in progress. Another topical discussion is infrastructure deficits. Aside from housing, because for housing to make sense, for housing or real estate investment to make sense to anybody, there must also be a place for infrastructure. If you have land, you have over Nigeria, and there are no roads, then the houses will be meaningless. The houses will be valueless. They won't have any value. If you have properties, there's no power.
Yeah.
Those houses the values will not make any sense. If you have houses, there's no water, no potable water for people to, because water is an everyday need.
Yeah.
So housing infrastructure must go side by side.
Right.
Our infrastructure deficit right now in Nigeria is fairly about $3 trillion US. Our infrastructure gap right now. The government is saying that we're going to need $3 million US annually for the next 30 years to solve our infrastructure gap. We are talking about infrastructure deficit. We are also talking about real estate investment. We are talking about how we can attract investors. We have vast land all over Nigeria that are waiting for people to come and develop. We are also talking about demolitions. We are also talking about demolitions. So those things, something is wrong, and we think that stakeholders in the real estate industry needs to have a seat at the table with the government to make sure that people don't even build at all on land that are government owned. Government should not even wait for them to finish building before, after 10 years, 20 years, you now come and start demolishing. Government do not have to wait till then.
Okay,
Another
so
big issue why
here many property owners claim they were unaware their buildings violated planning laws. How valid is this claim?
So I know that the government, there's no way the government will embark on any demolition without serving notice. A lot of us ignore notices. When government sends you letter, even land use charge, ground rent, a lot of people just see it and look away because they feel that the government is not serious. What do they mean? Am I not the one that built my house? No, the government has a responsibility. Yes, you have built your house, but indirectly or directly, the government still has to be responsible on the welfare and the generality of how the kind of properties that people live in. So if you have built your house and the government has sent you notice that this house that you have built was built on canal, was built on drainage, or even if it was not built on canal, government has the right, based on the provisions from the Land Use Act, to acquire properties for overriding public interest. The property might not even be on a drainage, it might not be on any canal, but the government just needs that location for a public project. They have the right to acquire it from you and compensate you appropriately.
Okay.
So whether you have violated any building rules or not, the government has a right to acquire any property at any time for overriding public interest, as long as they need it for the public good. So we must understand this concept. It is very, very, very important.
I see.
Another very critical area that we must also talk about is the issue of houses building collapsing. This year alone in Lagos State, we've had about 7 building collapse in Lagos State alone. Nigeria has the highest number of building collapse all over the world. Highest, as at the last one that happened at about Macaulay a few weeks ago. Our total number of building collapse since 1974 till date is 653 cases. That's the highest number all over the world. No other country has this number. So that's another menace that our government still needs to look into critically. We must put a stop to this. It's a total embarrassment that our developers will put up properties that will collapse during construction. The one that happened in Macaulay was under construction. The one that happened at Oriwu in Lekki a few months ago was under construction. The one that happened at Kosoko in Lagos, Bega, was under construction. So you can imagine the havoc that would happen if these buildings have been completed and people have started living there. You can imagine the one that happened in Abuja last year. The building was an hotel, was designed for an hotel. But the hotelier was not making money, and he thought that he could convert the building to units of self-contained apartments. People were sleeping right in their sleep. The building caved away and collapsed. People died. So the impunity in the real estate sector needs to be checked. The government. That's why most times when I see government going after real estate, just recently the Lagos State government declared that 176 housing estates in Lagos State do not have planning permit. So I was on a TV station addressing this issue, and I was asking the presenter, I mean, how many estates do we even have in the whole of Lagos that 176 were built without permits? And the government gave them 21 days ultimatum to go and regularize their documents. What it means is that those estates did not get government approval before they started building. That's what it means. So the impunity needs to be checked, and government also needs to rise up to occasions like this. The real estate sector is one of the most viable sectors that contributes so much to our GDP, about 5% to our GDP, and it's a sector that the government must not even joke with, because whether we like it or not, everything we do as a people, we do it on real estate. The house that we sleep is on real estate. The office that we run our business is on real estate. Whatever, even if they're marketing.
Attention, Mustafa. About
yes,
we're talking
yes.
about these demolitions. As I want to cite that happened recently at the Trade Fair complex, and now people saying that it was a case of a federal owned land versus the government's Lagos State owned land, right?
Yes.
And then about understanding the different titles that comes from the federal level and the government level, and also regularizing with the government, even though you've gotten approval from the federal government, regularizing with the state government to be able to also get the necessary permits to go ahead in building on that property. So can you share more light on this? Because a lot of people are saying that that's not the case, because I mean they had finished all the due diligence with the federal government, and they were not informed about the fact that they had to go back to the state to regularize with the state. Can you share more insights on this?
So I came across that video of the demolition at Trade Fair Market, and I had to also look into that scenario. And yes, it was also a very, very sad moment, because Trade Fair Market is somewhere I go to regularly, and I understand that place is an international market where thousands and millions of transactions are being conducted daily. Yes, however, some have said that those lands are federal lands, some part of it. Yes, but don't forget that Lagos State government also have a responsibility to regulate whatever is on its land. Yes, it's a federal land, but I understand that there must be a synergy between the Lagos State government and the federal government, because whether we like it or not, it is still one government, still under the same country and under the same leadership.
Right.
However, we have also seen the same level of discrepancies. And some parts in Festac, they pay ground rent to Lagos State to federal government. They still pay land use charge to Lagos State government. So there have been that discrepancy in areas like Amuwo, Festac, and the likes, and even Trade Fair, with regarding like a tussle between the federal and. But I think that there is nothing that the Lagos State government would do if the people that were affected are also consulted properly with the Lagos State government officials. It will not have led to that demolition, and that's the honest truth. Yeah. Because don't forget that you are buying a federal land in a state that belongs to Lagos State. So there is nothing stopping you from making consultations from the federal, who is the owner, and also making consultations from the states, the Lagos State government officials too, who are the hosts of where these lands and properties are located. So if those owners have done their due diligence, I put it to you that nothing will have led to a demolition. But people assume, but a lot of time investors or potential developers assume, and not because they want to, it's because they deliberately want to boycott certain processes. That's why they fall into these problems.
But there's
if you have a value,
saying they are unaware that they have to go, to regularize with the state government,
because they did not make consultation. You see, as a person who wants to invest, real estate is not an investment for for a baby or for a dollar. It's for people, somebody who has worked hard for money and wants to. I saw very gigantic shopping plazas demolished. How do you put up that kind of structure? There's nothing stopping you from doing a proper due diligence from Lagos State government too. Oh, this place is a federal land. That's why people don't want to consult professionals. People want to you just believe that you have money and you can do what you like with your money without consulting professionals. You are going to get burnt.
Okay.
And that is the result. There's nothing consulting an estate surveyor and valuer or a lawyer or a land surveyor in Lagos State. Please, I want to buy this land. It's on a federal land. What is the process? Somebody contacted me yesterday that he wanted to do a survey for a land in Lekki Phase 1. Do you know that the land in Lekki Phase 1, you do a private survey plan and you also do a Lagos State survey plan? 2 surveys. So imagine if the person did not consult, you will just go and do a private survey plan and take it to Alausa that he wants to register and get his consent, and they will bounce it back. It's going to be turned down. You have to understand that there are processes, there are documentations, there are laws, and those laws were made by both the federal and Lagos State. So people must abide to it. If you are owing Lagos State, if you are paid ground rent at the federal level, and you are owing land use charge for Lagos State government, who is the host state, you have defaulted, and the Lagos State government can take actions against you. So there are processes. But the earlier people start to be educated on these things, the better.
Okay.
I mean, real estate is not an investment. You can imagine the loss of income and loss of revenue. Lots of investment for people that are affected in trade fair. Those plazas were worth millions of naira, but it's so late. And lots of time, if you don't have a CFO or a valid title, you are not entitled to a compensation.
Okay.
The people the houses that was demolished in Yanowo, a lot of them don't have title.
Wow.
They don't have any title. They are not entitled to any demolition. To any compensation. They are not entitled. So if only the government wants to be compassionate or put a human face to it, but there is a law is a law. The Land Use Act of 1978 has made it very clear. Yeah. It is an extant law. If you don't have CFO or a governor's consent or a title, extra title, you are not entitled to any compensation. Because compensation is given on the land.
Would you say Lagos State regulatory agencies like LAPSCA and the Ministry of Physical Planning have been in preventing illegal buildings? Because there's a role for them to also play in the prevention, because they're coming as in a reactive way now, right? They are not being proactive, right? So their actions have been as a is a reaction to the aftermath of these buildings already being constructed. So how effective do you say the Lagos State regulatory agencies have been in preventing?
Let me tell you. So I'm going to tell you that the Lagos State regulatory agencies, from the LAPSGA, Lagos State Building Control Agency, to the Lagos State Physical Planning Authority, to even the Lagos State Material Testing Laboratory, a lot of those agencies that in the real estate industry, I want to say clearly that they have a lot of role to play, and there's a lot of blame that is attached to them too. If you start to build a house in this Lagos State, even in the creeks, in Ikorodu, in Ota, LAPSGA will find you there and come and give you a stop work notice if you don't have requisite documentations. So I was very surprised to see that in an international market like trade fair, people will put up to build those structures. It's not something you can do in 2 weeks. It takes months or years. So are you telling me LAPSGA did not see them building those structures? Why didn't they take a proactive measure to stop them? Which would have been better than wait for them to finish and you now come and enforce and demolish. I think it's a major setback from the ministries in Lagos State government, and I think that this pattern of enforcement needs to stop. Somebody has started building on an illegal structure on an illegal land, then you stop him. But what we are saying in cases is that they will come there and put a stop work notice. After 24 or 48 hours, this developer comes back to site and continues work after a shake in the hand. This attitude, this pattern of leadership must stop. If you want to be serious, if you want people to take it seriously as a government, you must be straight and upright. If you want to work. If you want to get, if you want people to take your enforcement notices seriously, you must be very firm with it. And it's sad because a lot of these people now, I've had cases of people who are currently hospitalized, and I tell you categorically that a lot of those houses in trade fair markets, because I know those traders do a lot of banking transactions, were built on loans from the bank. Because I know a lot of them do a lot of bank, because I'm an estate valuer, we value for many of them. They take loans in the bank to build the structures, and sadly it has been demolished. How do they repay? How do they repay? Because it was expected for them. What is expected for them is to get incomes, rental income from this property to pay back the bank. Now it's been demolished. This man is owing the bank. That's why people are led to depression. Also, a lot of them are currently hospitalized right now because they don't even know where to start from. I saw a case of a 70-year-old man
So,
telling the Oba,
yeah,
telling the Oba of Yanowo that so it's just so much, just so much.
Yeah. So,
Yes,
I mean, it's quite a very heartbreaking scenario, and I know that there's a lot of information. There's a knowledge gap in the industry. People don't know how to
absolutely,
protect themselves and all of that. But we need to wrap up. I
absolutely.
know that there's so much to share, and this is why we're going to be having this event where you're going to talk extensively on this. I would like you to give us, for those homeowners and buyers,
Yes.
give them like a final thought on how they can protect and safeguard their investments as we
So,
wrap up.
safeguarding. So my final thought is safeguarding your investments. Start from the conception of that idea. Start from the conception of the idea that I want to invest in real estate, and we start from the smallest things: title documentation, due diligence. If you skip those steps, if you don't do due diligence before you buy any property, if you don't do due diligence before you buy any property, if you don't register your title on any property to the government, from the beginning of that investment process, you have already failed. So it's a step by step process. Due diligence, register your title to the government, then you can start construction. So if anything happens, you are protected. So that's how to protect an investment from somebody who has taken a loan from the bank, or who has worked so hard to save up to build. Because real estate is supposed to be a lifetime investment, not an investment that you will build and the government will come and demolish after 40 years. That's not an investment. So I would say that I think I'm going to be sharing more of these ideas and these informations at the program on the 1st of November. So I expect that, and I tell you for free that it's going to be a value for money seminar, value for money. So in fact, as a matter of fact, I think that people will even come back and say we need to have more of this series at more regular intervals. Because there's going to be a very insightful session where you can even interact with directly and ask questions, and I'm going to give them real time response. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ESV Mustafa Nwenla, for coming on the show. It has been
Thank you
such
so
a
much for
very
having me.
insightful section. Thank you. I look forward to
Thank you so much for
hanging
having
out
me.
with you. Okay.
I look forward to seeing you. So thank you. All right.
Okay, so that is what we have for you today. I hope you got value. I mean, there's a lot that we can discuss about this topic, right? I mean, if you are someone who is buying a land or developing a property in Lagos, or you are looking to do that in the nearest future, then you should be at this event. Okay, you should come and learn how to avoid some of all these cases of not getting the proper title or documentation, and avoid the cases of the government coming in to give you one license that you need to do, or one kind of new policy or new bill, right? You need to have all of that, all of your documentation and all the right informations in place. So at this event, we would show you how you can well protect yourself, and how you can use professionals and work with regulatory bodies to create a very compliant property and development for your investments. Okay, you also learn how to collaborate with other professionals and developers in the industry, and you also learn the right agencies and bodies to go to avoid any problems in the future, right? So these are all of this. We're going to be teaching you and educating you extensively. And there will be time for you to also interact with the speakers, right? You interact with the speakers, you learn about the role of the government, and you learn about the role of different policies that's happening in the industry. You also get access to fundings, right? Get access to insights on new developments that is coming out in the market. Also insights on how to access funding to help you, empower you on your investments. And yes, that's all that we're going to be doing at the November 1st Nigeria Landlord Summit 2025, happening at the Golden Tulip Hotel by Airport Road. So yeah, I want you to call and be part of this. A lot of people have reached out on how to participate. You just need to make some payment of 50,000 token payment of 50,000 naira, and then you can send the proof of payment to our WhatsApp number 070-7115-4297 070-7115-4297, and the details of the account will be shared shortly. Also, I said that there's something I'm going to share for those of you who are looking to be a landlord before the end of 2025. Yes, before the end of 2025, I have something special for you at the event. So stay tuned. I'll be sharing more on my next episode next week, Saturday. Thank you so much. I hope you had a valuable section. Have a blessed weekend. My name is Amara Owens-Rike, and I am out.